Moving on to another Marvel project that's Marvel, not Marvel Cinema, because Fox still owns it.
Fox still owns it, yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool movie. We've seen the, what do they call it, test footage a while back.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the test footage, you should watch it. It's good.
Yeah, it's all CGI'd stuff, but it does have Ryan Reynolds' voice as Deadpool, and it was kind of like this played out scene from the movie that may or may not have happened at that point. But since then, the movie has been confirmed. It has, I think, set a date.
I know it's in 2016. I'm not sure
2016.
Exactly when.
So they're releasing casting. They're doing all this stuff, and we're gonna get a Deadpool movie.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Where they didn't show his mouth shut because that was stupid.
Yeah. Technically, Deadpool's been Wade Wilson,
and then the Abomination.
Yeah, was in was it X-Men Origins?
Wolverine
Origins. Yeah. And there were a couple scenes where when it was still Ryan Reynolds, he nailed it. It was great,
Specifically the scene where they're charging into some enemy fortress, and there's a bunch of guys with guns all over. He comes in with the swords. He's like deflecting bullets all over the place, slicing people's throat, and then at the very end, he's like, "Okay, people are dead."
Yeah, come on. Yeah, and his banter before it, like in that elevator, was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah,
so good.
People have a lot of issues with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I don't see it. I think he worked from a horrible script in Wolverine Origins. They did not understand the character or any of the characters.
That was clear.
Him, Gambit, they just severely fucked up.
Yeah, that was not
just
good.
All those characters, they had no representation of who they were, but Ryan Reynolds was not the problem.
No, not at all. I think Ryan Reynolds got a lot of flack too for Green Lantern, but again, he wasn't the problem with Green Lantern.
I'm less willing to give him a pass on that one because he wasn't as good.
Well, yeah,
but
I mean, he was trying to still be Ryan Reynolds. I think. I guess that was kind of the issue. Yeah, with Green Lantern,
but he fully embraced the Deadpool character. I thought
fantastic. Yeah, at least the test footage that we saw, and I think he really wants to make this. Because he did really well in that Blade movie he was in. He's been in a couple comic book movies. It was great. That was a fun character. That character kind of made the movie for me, actually. Who else? There's like Jessica Biel was in that too. That was fun. But yeah, it certainly wasn't Wesley Snipes. Not that one. Mm-hmm. And I think he is accomplished. I think he's talented. And I really think that he'll do justice to Deadpool. I can't really think of too many other actors who have the physique, the action experience, and the wit.
The wit, the comedy, just insanity almost of a Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and the best Deadpools are he's crazy witty. The one-liners they don't stop. They're all over the place. I was going to talk a little bit about how Deadpool as a character has just like blown up in popularity. Mm-hmm. Why that is. Most people are pretty familiar with who he is and what he is. I hope they don't go like too crazy into his origin story in this one.
Yeah,
this movie.
The most successful
because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the most successful comics. They don't really go into his origin at all. They're like, he was in the test thing for the Weapon X project. Yeah, it messed with the cancer he already had. He became like super healing factor. That's it. Move on. Yeah, pretty much. Let's hope that's all they do with it. Even if they even approach it at all. Some of the casting choices that they are announcing though, because they've announced like 2 or 3 this past week that are really starting to be like, what is happening here? One of them was for the character Angel Dust, and I forget the actress's name, but I guess she's also like an MMA fighter, so that's pretty badass. Yeah, like actually well-renowned MMA fighter. Like, not just, hey, I do this as a side thing. It's like, she's the real deal.
Yeah, she really is. And I'm sorry I'm unprepared and don't have her name in front of me here. But yeah, that's going to be cool. And the character Angel Dust, though, is a really strange one. It's a mutant, of course, because it's a Fox movie. And they have
that's all the rights they have.
That's all the rights they have. And I think it's some strange throwback from a Morlock storyline where she essentially has like control of her adrenal factor and can get like much faster and stronger and get pumped up with adrenaline, kind of like the effects of smoking PCP, aka Angel Dust. Really creative name, whoever came up with the character. You know,
it doesn't seem like a modern superhero type thing. It seems like one of those like
it's definitely something like, what are you doing? You know, something wacky in the 90s or whatever. But pretty funny. You know, I can't wait to see how Deadpool reacts when he finds out her name, or if they even approach that, or
I'm imagining
what her role is in that.
I'm imagining her throwing around Deadpool a little bit.
Yeah, I imagine that will happen. Well, I imagine Deadpool will get his ass kicked all over the place in this film.
Oh yeah, because that's what Deadpool
that's
does.
what happens. Yeah,
Deadpool's not a great fighter. He just has this stupid healing factor that. You can like cut off all but his head, and he's like, "Oh well, I'll just grow back in a couple hours, then I'm gonna come fight you again."
Oh sure, yeah. There's even a couple of versions, comics I've read where he's essentially been like vaporized, head's blown up, all that, and he comes back. You know, crazy.
Then delivers a one-liner.
Yeah, it's delivering a great one-liner while doing it. He also is great at breaking the fourth wall, so that's going to be fun to see that. I wonder, and a lot of times audiences don't react to that well. But I think it would be great if he makes fun of the audience for like paying to go see a Deadpool movie or something like that. You know, that'd be fantastic.
They released a Deadpool video game last year.
Yeah, I played that.
Yeah, it did very well. It
was fun.
100% captured the style of Deadpool.
It really did, especially the early, like the 2000s and late 90s Deadpool. You know, I love the stuff where he was doing it with Cable and all that. They're great interactions. Yeah.
But he's...
I thought the voice acting choices in that were a little dumb. You know? Yeah, a little too much. But that was my only complaint with the game, other than the button mashing aspect of it.
Yeah, the game itself was okay, but the Deadpool humor was on point. It was constant one-liners. It was breaking the fourth wall. It was looking straight into the camera and saying, "Well, that was fun. How about you press this button and we can do it again?"
Right, exactly. It was a game. It was one of the last games that I played strictly for the cutscenes. You know, like I had to see what happened next. It was fantastic in that sense. Very fun. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with this movie. I wonder if we're going to have like AIM in there, because they can't have Hydra.
They can't have Hydra. They can't have a lot of organizations that Deadpool's fought recently. Mm-hmm.
And I really hope that it's a popular movie and that there's enough fan outcry to bring Deadpool into the rest of the MCU and actually the rest of the mutants. You know, there's no reason why they can't work together. And Deadpool has a lot of ties with Captain America. You know?
Yeah. I mean, in the most recent story arc for Marvel, Deadpool, Wolverine, and Captain America go to North Korea. To save a bunch of kind of like mutant experiment type things.
Yeah. They've like mashed up other mutants' DNA with Deadpool's DNA to like recreate Colossus and Wolverine and all the Nightcrawler and all those, but poor North Korean citizens as the subjects for all of this. Yeah. So it's pretty messed up. Actually, it's a pretty messed up book, in a lot of ways, but it's a great read. In this latest series of Deadpool, which has been fun, and I guess they're talking about Deadpool dying in the comics here.
How?
The death of Deadpool. It doesn't matter. He's not going to stay dead.
No one ever stays dead.
No one ever stays dead in the comics.
I feel like Deadpool would be one of those where it's like the death of Deadpool, then the next month it'd be like, "Hey, Deadpool's back." Just not even keep him dead at all.
Yeah, they might do that with Deadpool.
Because it seems a very Deadpool thing to do.
Yeah, and he makes fun of other comic story arcs and other comic book, his book will poke fun at those, and a lot of his covers and stuff are poking fun at like variant programs that DC is doing and that kind of stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if they just treat it completely like how the Death ofs are in the comic book world. Ever since Death of Superman, everyone knows this now. No one stays dead. Yeah, Captain America didn't stay dead. Thor's not going to stay dead.
And with the death of Wolverine just happening, I would say that it's probable, if not likely, that it's going to be a kind of joke.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, yeah. The Death ofs, I mean, it's kind of one of those gimmicks, I'll say, that the big publishers and comic books do that is pretty played out.
It still sells, though, is the issue, because people are... I don't know if they're not getting that it's a gimmick, or... I don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, what it is super casual readers will hear about it on like the internet or a news story or something like that, and then they'll want to check out that issue. So I don't mind that it brings new people to the audience, new audience, there. But a lot of them are there just because they think that the book will be worth something down the road. And let me tell you, like The Death of Superman, that's one of the most worthless comics out there. It really, I mean, it's for out of all the comics printed in the 90s, it's worth about the paper it's printed on.
It was so hyped up, and they had these special, like, packaged copies that you can get. And, like, it was all this huge deal, and then, what, a year later, they brought him back?
It wasn't even that long, actually. I don't think it was even a full year. I actually think that the comic where he comes back is worth more than the one where he dies. I want to say someone told me that. That could be wrong, but still. I wouldn't. I'm sure that there were less issues printed.
Because people were so mad that he came back, they didn't buy it.
I just think that the comic sales peaked up real high, and it blew it out of the water. Like, it changed the industry in a lot of ways. And, but then it, it valleyed back down, and there's just no way that they're going to print, keep printing how many umpteen million copies that they're going to do for an issue, 4-5 months down the road. I think it was probably about 6 months or so.
That's still way too soon.
No, actually, no. I'm trying to remember because a lot of other Supermen came back. I don't want to get into the Death of Superman. Actually, that's not on our agenda here because it's. But yeah, the point is, it's a gimmick, and like you were saying, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Deadpool treats it exactly how it is.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Just in first page of the next book is like, ha, sucker, you bought that book.
Yeah.
Why would I die?
Yeah, how could I die?
They make so much money off it.